This week, we celebrate International Women's Day, an opportunity to imagine a gender equal world, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Welcome to day 2 of our 5-part video series, where we are celebrating women's achievements and raising awareness about discrimination. I am excited to bring back together this amazing group of women leaders to share their thoughts with all of you. This is a reminder for us all to take action to drive gender parity and inspire inclusion. As women, what support can we give other women and girls to encourage them to take on leadership, business, and STEM roles so we can realize a gender equal world?
Wow, that is another great question, and there are so many ways to do it. Encouraging women to take more risks. We have opportunities for gigs that we call them. So along with your regular job, you could do a gig to learn more about a particular thing, in the area of STEM. And we have a strong emphasis on STEM being an energy company. We have programs for boards, for example, to do outreach. We have a great Duke Energy Foundation that has board memberships and funding.
This is a fantastic question, one that I'm very passionate about. Inspiring women and encouraging women to take on the leadership positions, to excel in STEM roles. The first thing that's very important for us to do as women and as leaders, to think about the energy sector and non-traditional roles. Women don't typically go in for being a line worker or being out in the field. Very rarely. We have a handful of women who do that. But kind of opening their eyes and saying, hey, listen, there's a lot more opportunity out there for you in terms of your career growth. And, talking about STEM and business and leadership, once they start to get into that and get an understanding of the business, they start to, rise up the ladder. And women more than men, I find, are reluctant to take on leadership positions. There's always the hesitancy that, hey, am I worth it? Am I qualified, is something that comes up very often. And I think that's where the mentoring comes in, where we talk to them to give them that confidence, to empower them, to encourage them that, yes, indeed, they are worth it, they're valued, and they bring a heck of a lot to the table. So, and I think those are some of the ways in which we can, give support to women and girls to encourage them to do bigger and better things.
I benefited a lot in my career from mentorship, and I benefited from formal mentorship, informal mentorship, being proactive and asking for it, sometimes just kind of paying attention and having that be the mentorship in the moment, even if somebody didn't know they were offering it. So I think that there's always that opportunity, and I candidly think that it's incumbent upon us who have been championed by people whose shoulders we've stood on to be really proactive in seeking out the opportunities to mentor formally and informally. I also think it's just a matter of encouraging people, women in particular here, young girls, and instilling the confidence in them, because so much of pursuing something beyond what we think is possible has to do with a level of confidence and tenacity and willingness to take risks that certainly we can harness within ourselves if we're built that way. But sometimes it's a bit easier if somebody is seeing it in you and telling you to go for it. And I've had a lot of people over the course of my life who have seen something in me that I didn't see at the time. And they were generous enough to spend time with me, to give me the encouragement, and to really help me see that anything's possible.
Mentorship and sponsorship has been around for the history of the corporate world. Men have mentored and sponsored men because those tend to be who have been in the corporate world. Like sponsors like, and that is just absolute human nature. And I don't think it's anything that any of us should be ashamed of. But it also means that women should be sponsoring and mentoring women. And there are fewer of us. It's a growing number, but there are fewer of us in leadership ranks in the corporate world. And so that means we're going to need to work harder on mentoring and sponsoring more people, more women than we would otherwise in order to actually achieve gender equality and an equal number of women and men leaders in business. For me, absolutely no bigger compliment as a mentor or a boss or a manager than that I brought out the best in someone.
Mentorship and sponsorship are such simple and yet powerful avenues to support and encourage other women to aspire to take on leadership roles. I personally have so much gratitude for those who have mentored and been advocates to me throughout my career. There have been amazing women and men in my life that have supported me and championed my career at various times in such an impactful and a life-changing way. And I would encourage young women to really seek out those mentorships and have an eagerness to learn from the diversity of thought that is around them every day.
It actually means supporting the full human potential, right, for the benefit of everyone. So in other words, it means everyone's potential has the opportunity to contribute equally.
I think that we have such a unique opportunity as women in leadership to, I always say, lean in and tell our story. I think that for young women, they're watching women and girls who are in places they want to be. There are girls who are dreaming of being the woman that we are. And I think the most impactful and powerful way that we can inspire them to take hold of their dream is to share our story of how we made it, and to teach and educate and just help them process through. I remember being a young woman coming up early on in the commercial real estate space, and I just could not see myself as a woman in CRE leadership. And it took a woman leaning into me to say, Yolanda, this is how I got there. These are the steps that I took. These are the avenues of mentorship that I leveraged.
I think building relationships is absolutely essential in this realm. So we can really understand where is the heart and the passion between our colleagues and younger women in the workforce. So we can really understand where their aspirations lie. You know, I come from a world of sales, and sometimes it's maybe intimidating for women to enter the world of sales because of the risk involved, the win, the loss, and it's sometimes intimidating. We've created a framework to help others in the organization, not only women, but really understand what are the characteristics, what are the attributes of sales that can enable them to succeed. And then we help working with them on those skills so that they can build those up to enter this world. It comes down to understanding aspirations, helping people achieve them, and supporting them every step of the way to build the skills that they need so that they can be successful in the role and continue to support them in a positive way throughout their journey.
Thank you for listening in. We look forward to sharing more thoughts with you tomorrow.